Some parents can try to throw their weight, and all that nonsense, but whatever. Hey guys, so the video today is going to be very quick, and well, I won't say it like that, very quick, but the video today is, I'm going to do this before I go into the classroom, but the video today is about parent communication and the importance of having good communication with your parents as a teacher. So I'm just going to give you 3 tips, 3, 1, 2, 3, on how to start building those positive relationships with your parents. So tip number 1, meet the teacher night. Everybody has meet the teacher, whether it's at night, in the afternoon, in the morning, whenever your meet the teacher is, where your students and their parents come to meet you. That's your first time to make your first impression. And you only get one time to make a first impression on anybody. So you want to make sure that you know what you're doing. You need to make sure that your classroom has a flow. It's not looking like a pigsty, like you don't care. I'm not saying you have to have this Pinterest-worthy looking classroom, but I am saying that you want a classroom that looks like, woo, okay, learning goes on up in here. Okay, she got a little system, or he got a flow. Whatever the case may be, you want parents to trust and believe, like, okay, this person here has it together. Even if you feel like you don't, they don't need to know that. But meet the teacher night is your first time and only time to make that first impression. So I really try to make sure everything is, has a flow and order. Like, I want parents to know when they're dropping their child off at school to be with me all day long, that they are safe and secure. That's 1. Meet the teacher. That's so important. Number 2, the night before school, I call all of my students the night before school, and not technically at night. I call between the hours of like 1:30 and 3:30. I call my students and just ease the nerves. Let them know I'm excited to see them. Let them know I'm a little nervous, but we're going to have so much fun. That is so important because, 1, it also lets parents know, wow, they really care about my kids. And I'm not saying if you don't do this, they're not going to know that. But this is just a little extra brownie point to show parents, if you're trying to find ways to show parents that you care about their child, this is just another way. But I always call my kiddos the night before school, or I should say the afternoon before school. And I just talk to them really briefly, maybe about a minute. I'll put a card up here to show you what that looks like and sounds like. And just basically ease their nerves a little bit. And also to let parents know, like, hey, I'm a teacher that really does care about your child. They are going to be safe and secure with me. And it is so cute because when I call, I'll be like, hello, Mr. So-and-so, hello, Mrs. So-and-so, or whoever the parent or guardian is. May I speak to, child AB, C, you know what I mean? And they're like, oh my gosh, yes, Miss May, of course. And then you can hear them calling their child, and so-and-so, Miss May is on the phone. It is like the cutest thing ever, but it's just another way to show parents that you care. So there's 2 incidents where you can show parents, like, I want a good relationship. I want a good school year with you and your child. And then the last one, number 3, is Remind. I cannot stress to you guys enough how amazing the app Remind is. It's a great app where you communicate with your classes, where you communicate with parents, and you can communicate on a regular basis. But I use that app like nobody's business. So I highly recommend that you download that app. So, for example, during the beginning of the school year, so like we start in August, so like August, September, October, I'm heavy on sending parents communication. I send pictures. This is what reading workshop looks like. This is how we line up, because another thing you can do is you can send videos on Remind. So I love sending videos on there too. But it's just a great way for you to communicate. I'll send a question of the day. Those first 3 months, like I'm sending 4 and 5 pictures a day to show parents what's going on. This is us at lunch. This is any other thing I can do and send where they feel safe and secure. Miss May is sending it. So I highly, highly suggest Remind. So I also send a question of the day, and that's just at the end of the day, about 4 o'clock, I have a question that I send to my parents. Please ask your first D, blah, 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 blah. Sometimes I'll put a picture of like an anchor chart or a book we've read, but I always send a question of the day, and it's every day those first few months. Now, as time progresses, I've been slacking here lately. It's been about 3 times a week, but I try my best to send questions a day, anything. And it doesn't always have to be academic related. It could be something about character. It could be something about something silly I said or a prank I pulled on them. Ask your firsties about the prank that I pulled on them today. It doesn't always have to be so academic. It doesn't have to be, but it's just a great way to build that relationship with your parents. And I use it more than I email. Like, I hardly ever email a parent, ever. It's always through Remind. Like, you can communicate as a whole class by sending like the question of the day or reminders. Libraries this day, or this is book fair is this, blah, 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 blah. But then you can also communicate to parents one-on-one and just talk, and nobody else, in the class is seeing what you guys are communicating about. And then lastly, at the end of the year, like I always remind my parents, like a week before school is out, don't forget to download the pictures that I've sent, because on the last day of school at 4 o'clock, that Remind app is shut down, done, archived. Have a great summer. So those are my 3 tips for you. Meet the teacher night. Please make sure that you give your best first impression. Number 2, make those calls the night before school. This is for my elementary people. And if you're a teacher that teaches, because I know at my school in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, the kids have switch classes. So maybe just call your homeroom class, totally up to you. But it's just that night before, the night before school is very, very important. And number 3, send those Remind texts. Question of the day. I know some people like Class Dojo, and that's fine. I'm just not a Class Dojo person. I'm just not a fan. I've tried it, and I just like Remind. Remind is my jam for my parent communication. And I will say, I become very close to some parents during the school year, and there's some parents I don't hear from, talk to at all. And then there's some, well, I can't even say now because nobody has been rude or mean, or if they don't like me, I don't know it. I don't feel like they don't like me. And like I said, like I can count on one hand and have some fingers left over of parents that have just been, because you get parents who try to throw their weight and be intimidating. Well, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to call the principal. Call the principal, boo. Call. Okay, I'm going to finish this video up once I get inside, because I need to get inside and get my stuff set up. But I'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye. Okay, guys, so I totally forgot to close out the vlog like 2 days ago. So I just wanted to get back on here and just say, do your best, teachers, on trying not to be intimidated by parents. Just look at it as a working relationship. You're a little mini team trying to help this individual become very successful. And I think when you look at it like that, it's better. Now, you may not win every parent. I don't know. Everybody's not going to like you. You're not going to like everybody. But you got to learn how to work together. I mean, that's just the way life is, right? But I just don't want people to be like intimidated by parents, and because I know how it gets. Like some parents can try to throw their weight, and all that nonsense, but whatever. But just try your best. And I honestly believe when you start off on a positive note, things flow. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like things flow. So anyway, before I start rambling, I'm going to get off here and close this vlog. But as always, before I close it, I just want to say, y'all, thank you so much for your love, support, kindness. Like, I love reading y'all's comments, and I promise you, I read every single one. If I cannot respond back to you, just know that when I click that heart, I read it, and that's letting you know, like, I appreciate you. Much love. So I just wanted to say that before I got off here, because y'all are like some of the best supporting folks out there, and I appreciate it. But anyways, okay. Don't forget to always pray, because God will always make a way. Don't you forget that. He didn't bring you this far to leave you. Trust and believe. Bye, guys.